Today we're breaking down The Shawshank Redemption, a powerful story of hope and perseverance inside one of cinema's most iconic prisons. Follow Andy Dufresne's journey from wrongful conviction to an unforgettable escape, and discover why this film remains a timeless classic. We see Andy Dufresne, a banker. He is in court and is being prosecuted that he has killed his wife and her lover, but Andy says he did not kill them. But all the evidence in court is against him, due to which the judge sentenced him for 2 life imprisonment for murders. Then scene change to Shawshank Jail. We see a prisoner named called Red, and Red has been here a long time and can get anything inside jail. Then Andy and the other new prisoners are brought into the jail by bus. Red and other prisoner friends bet 2 cigarettes on which new prisoner will cry tonight. But Red bets 10 cigarettes on Andy, because he thinks Andy is very innocent and weak-end. He belongs to a very rich family, so he will break quickly. Then all the prisoners are taken inside. They are asked to stand in line. Then here comes warden of this jail, whose name is Samuel Norton. He tells all the new prisoners that if they follow rule they will never be hurt. But if they broke rule they can't imagine the punishment gets. Then prisoners washed down, a Bible and clothes is given to them. After that they send him to their cell. At night, light is off, then all the prisoners start screaming and trying to make someone cry. After that one of them, a chubby guy, finally cries uncontrollably, shouting that he didn't want to stay here and wants to go to his mother. Then guards come and beat the guy so much that he becomes unconscious. Because of this, Red lost his bet and realized Andy is not weak, he is so strong. Next day all the prisoners were given food. Red give 2 cigarettes to his friend Haywood because he lost bet. Here Andy meets Brooks, who has been in this jail for a long time. He has been working as librarian in jail and he is happy here. Time goes by like this. And one day Andy reaches Red and tells him, "I heard that you can get anything smuggled in prison from outside." Andy says Red for a hammer. Hearing this, Red asks, "Why do you need a hammer? Are you planning to kill someone with that hammer?" Andy says he doesn't have any enemies here. Andy says, "I loved carving stone. Now I think I'll start doing it again here." Red asked for $10 for hammer and told, "Don't mention my name to guard when any guard caught you, otherwise no deal from." The next day, he orders a hammer and give it to Andy. Soon after, Andy gets a job doing laundry. One day, while Andy is working, Sister's gang catch him. Andy tries his best to fight them off. In the end, they assault him physically all the time. Days pass like this. Andy's face always shows fresh wound, but the sister gang never stop chasing him. Sometimes Andy fight, but he lose. Andy tolerated this for 2 years. One day warden announced in front of all the prisoners that the roof needs repair, and they need 12 people for a week. Everyone who is interested writes their name on a slip and puts it in a box. Here Red bribes the guards to get the slips issued for his group members, but luckily Andy's name also comes up. All these people assigned to Captain Hadley, who's really brutal and treats the prisoners harshly. While working, Andy overhears Hadley worrying taxes. He goes to Hadley, drawing on his banking expertise. He offers advice. "I will solve your tax problem free, then you won't have to pay a single rupee in taxes. In return, just give beer for all my friends." Then Hadley agrees. Before leaving, everyone is drinking, but Andy just sitting in a corner, watching them with a smile on his face. Time passes. Now Andy and Red become good friends. Later that night, when everyone's watching a movie, Andy came and told to Red he wants a poster of movie heroine. After that, Andy leaves the room. Then Sister's gang caught him. They tried to rape her again, but Andy fought back this time and they did not rape but beat him up badly that Andy had to stay in the hospital for a month. The gang leader was locked up in a dark solitary room for a week, but when he came out, Captain Hadley beat him so badly that he was paralyzed for life. After a month, Andy came back to prison, and he found a picture of movie heroine as a welcome gift from Red. He didn't have to pay for it. One day, the warden checking all prisoners' cell and he starts searching the Andy cell with Hadley. But even after a long search, They don't find anything suspicious. Then Warden looks at a photo on the wall and says that they never gave permission for this thing, but sometimes it's okay to let things slide. Then Warden notices the Bible in Andy's hand, and he walks away. The next day, Warden calls Andy to his office and gives him library duty. Brooks is happy to see Andy in the library. Just then, a guard comes to Andy with his problem. Andy solves them and gives some financial advice. Now everyone started knowing about Andy's abilities to solve their issues. His customer base just keeps growing. So Andy hires Red as and assistant. Everyone is impressed by Andy, and all the guards treat him with respect. Meanwhile, the Andy notices there are old books, that's why no one comes, so he goes to the warden and talks about more funding for the library. The warden says the government stopped giving funds for library. Andy replies that he'll send a request letter to the government every week, so they will definitely provide the funds. Hearing this, Warden agrees and says, "You can try." Andy kept sending letters to the government without any reply. Then one day, Andy finds out that Brooks has put a knife to Haywood's neck in trying to hurt him. Then Andy and Red go there and tries to calm him, explain things to him. After that, he lets Haywood go. Here we found that Brooke does this because the government was about to release him, but Brooke did not want to leave. So he tried to catch Haywood and hoping the government would not release him. Brooke has been in that jail for the last 50 years and he loved being here. Completely forgot about outside world. He had no one out there, but he has to leave prison and he starts working at a supermarket, but he doesn't feel like he feels in prison. He can't sleep at night, and one day he ends up taking his own life after writing "Brooke was here" on the wall. Before dying, he had written a letter to his friends. When all his friends read that letter, they were all very sad. Then after 6 years, government replied to Andy's letter. They sent him a $200 fund for library and some books. Andy becomes happy when he hears this. While Andy is checking out these things, he finds a music player and plays a song through the loudspeaker. Everyone feels really happy after listening the song. Just then, the warden comes out but found that door was locked from inside and tells Andy to stop music, but Andy doesn't stop. Then Hadley break the glass and open the door. Andy gets punished for 2 weeks in solitary dark chamber for that. But it doesn't affect Andy because he feels like he gave the prisoners a little bit of joy. Time just kept passing like that. Andy has now completed 10 years in prison. He kept writing letters to the government and managed to raise $500 to completely renovate the library. Then, one day there was another announcement that prisoners would now be taken outside for work, and the prisoners were ready because they got a chance to breathe fresh air. But the warden made a lot of money from this work. However, all that money is black money and warden uses Andy to make it clean. The warden keeps making loads of money like this. Andy kept all the warden's accounts. Then one day, Red asks Andy, "You're cleaning all the warden's money, but don't you think the warden will get caught someday?" Andy explains whole plan that I made and account for a guy who does not exist in real life. But on documents, he's alive, and all the money is deposited in his name. So, if the police try to find him, they got nothing because he doesn't exist. That way, there will be no trouble. Hearing this, Red is stunned and starts laughing. Then new prisoners are brought in, and that's when we meet Tommy. Tommy's was friendly, so he made friends with everyone. He got a 2-year sentence. One day, Andy advises him to do something better in his life. Tommy likes that idea, so he tells Andy that he's thinking of finishing his high school and diploma here, but he doesn't know how to read well. Then Andy starts teaching him from basics. Tommy puts in the effort and studies seriously. Tommy loses his mind and says, "This whole year of studying has been a waste." After saying that, he throws his answer sheet and leaves. Andy picks up his answer sheets. Then Tommy goes to Red and tells him everything. Asks Andy is so smart why he is in jail. Red explained he was a successful banker. He caught his wife sleeping with some golfer and ended up killing them both. Hearing this, Tommy remembers something and goes straight to Andy. He said, "For years ago, I went to jail and met a criminal there. He started telling me stories. While he was stealing from a house, the owner caught him. In defense, he killed Guy and his wife. But later, he found out that he was not his husband nor owner of house. She was the wife of a banker. When Andy hears this, he immediately goes to Warden and tells him everything. But the warden refuses, doesn't believe the story, and say Tommy's just giving you false hope. He doesn't trust Andy's words at all. Actually, Warden is acting this way because he thinks if Andy gets out of jail, his whole plan will be ruined. That's why he doesn't want to help Andy. Andy also understands the situation and tells the warden that even if he gets released, I will never tell your secret and no one will ever find out about that money. The warden becomes very angry when told about the money. Then he sentences Andy to 1 month in dark room. Just then Tommy's results come out, and he passes. That's when they find out that Andy had mailed his answer sheet that night. The warden killed Tommy on the pretext of meeting him outside of jail so that Andy can never release. Then the warden goes to Andy and tells him that Tommy was trying to run away and they had no choice but to shoot him. Hearing this, Andy realizes that Walden deliberately set it all up. Warden threatens him that you'll have to work for me, otherwise I'll make this jail a living hell for you. Andy tells Red about his wife and their story and says that once he's out, he's going to a beautiful beach in Mexico. He'll open a small hotel and buy an old boat to take his guests around. But he'll need a resourceful guy to bring him supplies from outside. The hint here points towards the Red. Then Red tells Andy, you need to snap out of it and stop dreaming about Mexico because that's just a fantasy. The only real thing is this jail. Red also says that hope is a really bad thing. As he's leaving, Andy says, if you ever get out of jail, there's a grass field near Bugston. You should go there. There's a beautiful tree. Under that tree, I proposed to my wife. Near that tree there are stone walls there, and beneath them is a black stone that's different from the rest. Something is hidden beneath that stone. I want you to find it. This makes Red really worried. Later, when everyone is having dinner, they're all talking about Andy, saying he seems really different these days. Then Wood says that Andy asked him for a long rope today, and he gave it to him. This makes Red even more anxious. Then we see Andy working for the warden, and after finishing his work, he puts all the account books in Warden's safe. As he's leaving, Warden asks him to throw his clothes in the laundry and also polish his shoes. Night falls, and everyone starts to sleep, but Red can't sleep because he feels that Andy might kill himself because he even asked for a rope. Next morning, all the prisoners are called outside, but Andy doesn't come out. This makes Red more worried. So, a guard goes to check on Andy's cell, but when he looks, Andy isn't there. Meanwhile, they show the wardens who open a box with shoes inside, and those shoes turn out to be Andy's. Then the security guard calls the warden. That's when he realizes Andy has escaped from jail. The warden calls Andy's close friend Red in for questioning. Then Red says he doesn't know anything about it. The warden gets even angrier and says, then where did Andy go? After saying this, the warden grabs some stones lying around and starts throwing them at the wall, and one stone and throws it at the poster hanging in the room. Everyone watches as the stone goes right through the poster, making a big hole in it. When they looked at the poster, they realized there was a huge tunnel hidden in it. After seeing this, the warden sent a team outside to find Andy, but they couldn't find Andy anywhere, but all they get are Andy's clothes and his hammer. In next scene, we see the whole plan for Andy's escape. Every night, after everyone was asleep, Andy would dig a tunnel behind that poster using the hammer, and the dirt he dug out, he'd scatter it in the yard the next morning. Slowly, but over 20 years, he dug that tunnel. That night, he stole the warden's diary, which had all the records of his money, and placed his Bible in place of diary. The warden thought, just like every day, that he had locked everything in the safe. After the warden left, Andy put on the warden's clothes and wore prison uniform over them. Then Andy wore warden's shoes, but no one paid any attention to his shoes. As night fell, around midnight he started to escape from there. First, he carefully packed the warden's clothes and shoes in a plastic bag so they wouldn't get dirty, and tied it to his legs with a rope. Then he came out through tunnel. It was raining at the time, and when thunder rumbled, he began smashing the pipe with a rock to keep the noise down, and he broke the gutter pipe. After that, he started crawling out through the gutter pipe, which was about 500 meters long. But Andy it through gutter pipe and free from prison. Next day he goes to bank where warden money is deposited. Andy withdraws all of it using his fake identity. He had created an unknown guy in prison. He sends all the evidence to police about warden and Headley crimes. When the police come to arrest the warden, he opens the safe and finds a Bible inside. When he opens the Bible, he finds a message from Andy along with strips cut in the shape of a hammer, meaning Andy used to hide the hammer inside this Bible. Just then, the warden panics and kills himself, and Hadley gets arrested. One day, Red has his parole interview. The committee there accepts his payroll and sets him free. He goes outside and starts working at supermarket, but the outside world also suffocates him. He keeps thinking about committing another crime. Then he remembers that Andy told him to go certain places, so he sets out to find it. When he gets there, he finds the exact stone. Under rock there is a box. Inside it, he found money and a letter. In the letter, Andy has written that since you've come this far, come a little further to the city I mentioned in jail. I'm waiting. We'll start our new life together. As soon as Red reads the letter, he sets off from here to Mexico. After a short while, Red reaches Mexico Beach and sees that Andy is fixing the boat, and as soon as Andy sees the Red, he gets really happy and two friends hug, showing their friendship, and here the film ends. This film shows us that hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. Hope can survive even the harshest conditions.